How much pressure do you have to perform from day one?
There's no pressure. There's no pressure at all. I've been getting pressure since I was 10 years old. I don't think there's no pressure for me because I'm doing something that I love to do. And that's play the game of basketball.
Here he comes the other way. There's your first James jam. Oh!
LeBron James with no regard for human life.
I'm not going to guarantee no championship. I tell you that. I'm just trying to do the best I can.
Oh, blocked by James!
LeBron James just made history again, but not the kind he's used to. For the first time ever, an NBA superstar has been benched by his own all-star team. At 40 years old, the King's crown is starting to slip, and the message from the Lakers couldn't be louder. We don't need you anymore. It's a moment no franchise has ever dared to deliver to LeBron, a sign that even legends can't outrun time, and that the era of invincibility might finally be coming to an end.
Yeah, you could say the Lakers have made things better and maybe LeBron will want to stay, but that doesn't get back to the central question of, do the Lakers want LeBron James back?
On February 16, 2025, in San Francisco, anticipation filled the arena for what was supposed to be LeBron James' historic 21st All-Star appearance, a milestone no player had ever reached before. But just an hour and a half before tip-off, fans were stunned when LeBron withdrew from the game, announcing he was sitting out due to lingering soreness in his foot and ankle.
You won't see anything from me tonight. Unfortunately, I will not be in uniform tonight. Still dealing with ankle and foot discomfort, so I will not be playing tonight, unfortunately. I hate that, but I'm looking forward to seeing the format.
But here's the part most people aren't talking about. LeBron's decision wasn't just about soreness. It raised eyebrows because he would have been facing the Rising Stars, a group of hungry rookies and second-year players, including his own son's peers. Former NBA player Chandler Parsons didn't mince words, calling it out directly. He questioned why LeBron refused to go up against the young talents when every other player has no issue facing Bronny and the next generation. To him, it seemed like LeBron was avoiding the very competition that helped build his legacy.
Here's the problem I have. Here's the problem I have, and it's with what we're talking about this in particular with LeBron James not wanting to play against rising stars. All these other NBA players have to play against his son because LeBron has kind of put him in that situation. Who's a rising star? So what's the difference now? What he doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to play against the young guys, but
completely different. Completely different.
How's it different?
Think about it. Every team in the league has had to play along with the idea that Bronny James truly earned his spot, a move many believe was carefully orchestrated by LeBron himself. Yet when it came time for LeBron to actually face the league's new generation of talent, he suddenly pulled out with a perfectly timed ankle issue. The coincidence was hard to ignore, and the excuse felt just a little too convenient. For the first time since 2004, the All-Star game tipped off without LeBron James, ending his incredible 20-year streak of consecutive starts. Even his close friend Draymond Green couldn't resist chiming in, taking a subtle jab by saying the young players didn't deserve to share the court on Sunday night.
Rising Stars champ gets to play against the All-Stars on Sunday. One All-Star from last year told me he didn't like this because what does the All-Star team that plays against the Rising Stars have to gain? He's like, we're supposed to beat them. If we lose, we look bad. Draymond, who's a four-time All-Star, who never, I don't think, was picked to be a starter, said, these young guys, if they're on the Rising Stars team, they don't deserve the privilege of playing on Sunday. And I truly understand that. He felt like it cheapens what Sunday will be. He liked the format, he just didn't like it this way.
Translation: the old Kings are starting to fear the new blood. The next generation is here, and LeBron saw the wave long before it hit. But let's dig into something his PR team has spent over a decade trying to erase: the 2011 NBA Finals. That was the year a 33-year-old role player, Jason Terry, outshined him. Terry averaged 18 points, not against the Miami Heat, but directly against LeBron James. Recently, Terry opened up about that moment, recalling how in the fourth quarter LeBron stood there, head down, breathing heavily, completely drained. That's when Terry knew he had him. The numbers tell the story: 17.8 points, 6.8 assists, 48% from the field, and in Game 4, an unthinkable 8 points. Guarded by Jason Kidd and J.J. Barea, players half his size. Even LeBron admitted years later, in 2024, that it was the lowest point of his career.
Was that the low point for you in your career?
Oh, for sure.
2011.
The lowest.
Yeah,
the lowest.
But here's the part that often gets left out. Kobe Bryant went up against that same Dallas team in those playoffs. The Lakers got swept too, but Kobe never folded mentally. No hanging head, no checked out body language. He went out fighting, every possession, every shot. That's the gap between the Mamba mentality and whatever LeBron was showing back then. Especially after Jason Terry literally got a championship trophy tattooed before the season and then made it a reality against him. Fast forward to now, and the drama's just as wild. The Lakers, the very franchise LeBron helped bring a title to in 2020, just embarrassed him publicly. Reports say LeBron asked for a simple 1+1 contract extension this summer. Nothing major, just stability as he nears 40. But the Lakers front office went silent. No talks, no counteroffer, nothing. One NBA executive even said that by refusing to offer an extension, the Lakers boxed LeBron into a corner. And when GM Rob Pelinka finally spoke, his press conference was a masterclass in polished corporate doublespeak. All words, no commitment.
The first thing we want to do in terms of LeBron and his future is just give him absolute respect to choose his story with his family in terms of how many years he's going to continue to play. He's earned that right, and he's the best one to talk about that in terms of how many years he'd like to play. First things first would be for him to be able to make the decisions he wants to in terms of how long he wants to play. We're going to continue to honor and respect that and let him speak into that.
Pelinka said, "We want to give him absolute respect to choose his story." Translation: so, when's the goodbye tour starting? Because while they were tiptoeing around LeBron's future, the Lakers wasted no time dropping $165 million on Luka Dončić, a move that screamed, "This is our guy now." The message couldn't be clearer. Luka represents the next chapter, LeBron belongs to the last one, and the Lakers are already turning the page.
But should LeBron feel disrespected by how the Lakers are treating him at this point?
No, I don't think so. They got new blood. A cat that's going to be the face of their franchise for the next decade, where he's contemplating walking away from the game in the next year or two. Last time I checked, that's business. Secondly, it's pretty hard to be insulted when you're being paid $52 million for 1 year's work.
For the first time in 23 years, LeBron James is playing on an expiring contract. Just let that sink in. The chosen one has suddenly become the expendable one. And at the center of it all is the uncomfortable truth everyone keeps dodging: Bronny James. Let's be real. LeBron used his influence to push his son into the NBA spotlight, a move that reeks of pure nepotism. Bronny was invited to the Rising Stars game, declined. Offered a spot in the Father-Son Skills Challenge, declined again. And the reason seems obvious. Deep down, everyone knows what no one wants to say out loud. Bronny isn't ready, and he doesn't belong at this level yet.
The first father-son duo in an NBA game. To the cutting James. Oh! Look out! The legend of LeBron continues to grow. Who else but the king?
One thing I always say, don't never let somebody tell you can't achieve something.
And here's where things really heat up. Chandler Parsons didn't hold back, calling out the double standard loud and clear. He asked the question everyone else was too afraid to say out loud. Would LeBron have played if Bronny James had been one of the rising stars?
Because those kids deserve to be there.
Why is it different? Like,
What is he taking away from? What is he taking away from anybody? He's not taking away from anybody.
He took away an all-star. He took away an all-star from like Sabonis that should have been there, knowing he was.
Well, you mentioned Bronny. Bronny's not taking away.
I'm saying about the rising star situation. The rising star situation.
He wasn't a part of it. Yeah. So You're saying that his son is playing. Go ahead.
The truth practically writes itself. LeBron didn't just help his son reach the NBA. He scripted the whole debut for the cameras, the headlines, and the legacy. But when it came time for real competition, even LeBron seemed to realize the act was wearing thin. This wasn't a touching father-son story anymore. It was a legacy move gone wrong. Every team forced to give Bronny minutes knows it. Every player who lost a roster spot to nepotism feels it. And deep down, LeBron does too. February 2025 marked the turning point. The Lakers traded for Luka Dončić, and suddenly, LeBron went from leading man to supporting actor in his own story. The proof was in his silence. He was in Los Angeles but nowhere to be seen at Luka's extension press conference. As Rachel Nichols put it perfectly, LeBron's problem isn't Luka, it's the Lakers themselves.
If that was indeed, he was in town and that was a decision he made, has a lot more to do with the Lakers organization than it does with Luka.
The Lakers didn't hesitate to hand Luka Dončić a 3-year, $165 million deal, but when it came to LeBron James, they wouldn't even sit down to talk extension. That wasn't a quiet shift in power, it was a full-on reset of the hierarchy. For the first time ever, LeBron isn't the leading man, he's the sidekick. And unlike 2011 in Miami, when he temporarily stepped back to let Dwayne Wade lead, This time he didn't have a choice. The king has officially been dethroned in his own castle. Here's the part his PR team won't touch. LeBron's so-called defense has been a myth for years. All those all-defensive team nods and the can guard 1 through 5 tagline? Pure narrative. Just rewind to 2011 when Jason Terry, a shooting guard, had LeBron on skates and J.J. Barea, barely 5 feet 10 inches, was carving him up in the finals. Kobe never let a role player torch him on that stage. Jordan never lost his defensive edge to someone nicknamed the Jet. But LeBron, he's been coasting for years, hunting highlight blocks while his man drains open threes. The numbers expose it. The film confirms it. And Terry's finals heroics sealed it. Because when you strip away the marketing, the nicknames, and the media polish, what's left is the NBA's greatest PR masterpiece. A self-proclaimed king, a self-anointed chosen one, and a player who crowned himself the GOAT while still standing in Michael Jordan's shadow across every meaningful category that has orchestrated every move of his career, the decision, the super teams, the trades, and somehow always managed to play the victim afterward. He built stacked rosters, then cried about not having enough help. He dropped cryptic Instagram posts throwing shade at teammates, pushed for trades that stripped rosters bare, and bailed when the mess caught up to him. Now, he's trying to choreograph his own farewell tour while the Lakers quietly show him the exit. The same franchise that's hung jerseys for legends with half his resume won't even offer him a simple 2-year deal. But beneath the surface, something bigger is brewing. LeBron's gearing up for one last power play. Multiple teams reportedly called the Lakers this summer about trading for him, and Rich Paul says LA turned them down. Not out of loyalty, but because they're waiting to clear his $52.6 million salary off the books. The problem? LeBron's running out of options. Cleveland's rebuilding around youth, Miami's already moved on, and Golden State has no interest in a 41-year-old sidekick. The harsh truth is this: LeBron James might not get the farewell he imagined, not because he chose to walk away, but because no team is willing to pay max money for an aging star who skips all-star games and no longer owns the spotlight. Here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. LeBron James' career is ending exactly the way his harshest critics always said it would. No emotional farewell tour like Kobe's. No graceful exit like Tim Duncan's. No fairytale ending like Dirk Nowitzki's. Instead, we're watching the slow fade of a legend whose own team won't even offer him an extension. His skipping competition against rookies, his legacy moves are backfiring, and the new generation is taking over right in front of him. That All-Star Game ankle soreness? It wasn't about health. It was about a 40-year-old realizing the league has officially moved on. The rising stars he once towered over aren't rising anymore. They've arrived, and LeBron knows it. His finals record tells the story, 4-6. Compare that to Jordan's 6-0, Kobe's 5-2, Duncan's 5-1, Magic's 5-4, Bird's 3-2. LeBron's the only one in that class with a losing record on the biggest stage. And before anyone brings up 10 finals appearances, remember, 6 of those came in a historically weak Eastern Conference where the road was paved with super teams and little resistance. 2011 versus Dallas, he froze. 2014 versus San Antonio, outclassed. 2015 versus Golden State, lost to a lineup led by Andrew Bogut. The numbers don't lie, the decline isn't coming. It's already here. 2017 and 2018 were pure domination, but not by LeBron. Those finals were complete dismantlings that exposed the truth behind the myth.